Fault in our relationships, especially when our partner can let us down. And what aids in creating a satisfying relationship is seeing the partner's intentions. The MBTI personality type aids in understanding oneself and one's mate to create intimacy and greater harmony. The description and the characteristics of INFP tend to be idealistic and loyal to values and to people who are important to them. They want their external life to be congruent with what their values are, so that whoever they are on the outside is who they are on the inside. They're curious, they're quick to see values and possibilities, and they're really catalysts for implementing ideas. They seek to understand people and to help them fulfill their potential. People say that they're adaptable, flexible, and accepting unless one of their values might be threatened. Others tend to see the INFP as someone who is very sensitive, introspective, and complex. They tend to be reserved and selective when they share their most deeply values and feelings, even though they really do value relationships that are based on depth, authenticity, and true connection. They want to see a mutual growth for themselves and for those that are around them or people that are around them. They find structures and rules confining, and they like to work autonomously, but they are pretty adaptable and flexible until something really violates who they are. They're original, they're individual, and they're sometimes quite difficult to understand. They don't want to just know their partners, they want to know their partners. That means they want to know everything about them, every detail, down to the core. They are very deeply passionate, and they see true love as a form of intimacy that cannot be outshined by anything else. Love is learning everything about someone. It's the whole mind, it's the heart, their strengths, their weaknesses, their fears. They want to fully know every aspect, every atom. They want to accept one another. They are profoundly romantic. Romantic love is the merging of their souls, and that's how they see really their relationship is a merging of the souls. It's not just an alignment of lifestyles. It's where they fit together perfectly. They're interwoven. And when they find someone that they can really weave in with this way or knit together, they're going to find themselves in a relationship that allows them to flourish. Date an INFP. You really need to catch the attention, and it's not easy to do that. You'll have to show right from the very beginning that you're unique and that you stand out from everyone else. But you cannot brag and you cannot fudge the truth, because the INFP values sincerity and truth more than anything. They can see right through any lies or misintentions, and it's going to serve as a huge red flag against you. So your partner is going to have a desire to keep things interesting. And in order for this to happen, you're going to have to be willing to slacken the reins and allow your partner to keep things interesting in their own way. So in addition to this, you really need to be able to throw your own effort into trying new things, suggest new activities, maybe bring home a surprise, and pick up the slack in some everyday activities that may be too mundane for this idealist. Okay. Also remember that your partner's inner self has a lot of layers, and they're going to show a lot of gentility and patience. They need that. They need that because in some cases it could be a very lengthy process to get to know the INFP. You're not going to get to know them overnight. So prying, I know that may be something that we fall back on, but this really even causes the INFP to clam up even more. And they're capable of expressing themselves, so that's not a problem. But at times you may want to say, how about if you express yourself through the written word? Consider letters or journal writing. And if you've known the INFP for a while, you may have noticed that there are some things that may create some emotional stress or upset them, or maybe even impassion them. And in times like this, you're going to need to be the voice of reason, especially in a serious situation where your partner is failing to see any logic. And that's when you may need to step back and become the dependable one. There are many strengths for an INFP. They are warmly concerned and caring about others. They're sensitive and perceptive about what others are feeling. They're loyal. They're committed. They want that eternal, lifelong relationship, the happily ever after. They have a deep capacity for love, and they are driven to meet the needs of their partners. So they're going to always strive for a win-win situation so that everybody feels that they are in the right. They are nurturing and supportive and encouraging, and they're likely to recognize and appreciate the space or that others may have a need for space. They're also very flexible and diverse. Of course, as with all personalities, there are weaknesses as well. They tend to be shy and reserved, and it's going to take some time to really get to know the INFP. They don't like to have their space invaded because they're very independent, and they like to have a lot of personal space to be able to rejuvenate. They dislike conflict, they dislike criticism, and they have a strong need then for praise and especially positive affirmation. They're going to be very emotional in stressful situations and may have a great difficulty leaving a bad relationship. So don't expect them to really walk away, and don't really scold them. They're also not going to scold others, though. They tend to be very reserved when they express their feelings until they really know somebody. They are perfectionistic, and because of this, they don't give enough credit to themselves. They also tend to blame themselves for problems. They take the blame faster than they'll give it. An INFP is a very skilled communicator, and they're often extremely idealistic. Remember that harmony is the basis for this relationship. They may not be able to get their own needs met, but they're going to be very excited about meeting the needs of others. They're also excited about new ideas and possibilities. They're very creative, and they have artistic abilities. Don't tread on their values, though, because they're going to become very upset. And under stress, they can even become outwardly critical of others.